my gosh, we got an earthquake on our hands. Yeah. Like that doesn't happen in the New York area all that often. But what do you know? Lo and behold, can we go to some of this video? I'll first, before I tell you this, I will just tell you that I was so stunned by it. I was at my home and I live in the New York area and I've been through those before. Back when I used to live in San Francisco, right? You get those there in San Francisco, but I'm like, wait a second. Is this construction? Is this like the gardening crew? Are they like taking a tree down next door? I'm like, whoa. So it lasted for like 4, and I'm like, this is an earthquake. Gosh darn it, this is an earthquake. But I was so shocked and so stunned. You would think I would have taken out my phone and gotten a little video. I didn't, but fortunately some people did, or they had those Ring cameras. So let's take a peek and look at some of this crazy footage that just came in before we get talking about politics. Oh, this dog. Check out this dog. Look at how he felt it, right? Right before you heard all that noise. The dog could feel the ground shaking. And then there's this other one that's really something. Oh my goodness gracious. And it's a slow news day when there's kind of a non-event earthquake that makes its way all over the news, from CNN to the New York Times, big giant graphic. Earthquake in New York City. I mean, between this and what's going on with Russia saying what Russia's saying, and then of course the eclipse coming on Monday, I'm starting to think, what is this, Armageddon? Fortunately, as far as we know thus far, that 4.7 magnitude earthquake has not resulted in any deaths. So let's hope, knock on wood, that is the case. Just kind of a minor thing. My chandeliers were swinging a little bit and they made a little bit of clinking noise, but that was effectively the extent of it. We have not yet heard worse. But again, doesn't normally happen in the Northeast. This is a West Coast sort of thing. So interesting. I guess it started out in New Jersey. I think Fox did a little summary of this that we can check out.
Adam Klotz is in the Weather Center. I believe that he might be able to join us. Adam, are you there?
Hey, guys. Yeah, I am here. I also didn't feel it. I feel like I was missing out on that. We do have a couple of graphics when these sort of things do happen. This is the location just outside of New York City. It's part of the Ramapo fault system. It's the longest crack in the Earth's surface on the eastern side of the country. And when earthquakes do happen, as we know, it's very rare. But this is it has typically been the spot that they have happened. This one was at our current look. Oh, getting ahead of myself here. Let me go back for you guys. At our current look, this one is a 4.7 magnitude. And it was located just half a mile down, which is incredibly shallow as far as these things go, which is why so many people felt it. Like you, I didn't feel it here in the building, but I have friends who've been texting far out into Brooklyn who felt this. Some folks up in Princeton, New Jersey also felt it. So it's really shallow. It's part of a fault system that is really long. It doesn't move very often, but when it does happen, this is typically where these happen here across the Northeast. And I do think that shallow nature is the reason that we've seen so many people reporting and texting and calling so far this morning.
Adam, I wanted to ask you about that a little bit more.
Oh, it's kind of a bummer when the weather guy misses it, right? He didn't get to feel it. Like, they live for these things, ladies and gentlemen. I'll tell you, I got a little guy who totally loves weather events. And I texted him. He's got like a little watch that he wears at school because they're not allowed to have phones. But I was like, you okay? Did you feel the earthquake? And he's like, earthquake? Oh my gosh. So he was outside running. He didn't feel it at all. And he's very disappointed. And here I am. Mom didn't even take any video. What kind of reporter is she? I will say this. I knew it was an earthquake because I'd been through one in California when I first moved to San Francisco, and I was working for the local station out there as a morning anchor. It was in the middle of the night. It might have been 2:30 in the morning. And I felt it. And I was like, wow. Okay. And this was like before we all were like really familiar with devices. This was before the iPhone and stuff. So you couldn't really just easily figure out what was going on. So I called my station and I'm like, hey, do you need me? Hey, this is Northeastern girl. She's out there on the West Coast and they got an earthquake. I'm thinking this is news, right? Like, no. It's just like 4 point something on the Richter scale. Go back to sleep. So they had an earthquake machine, of course, in the newsroom, and at 4 point something, it's really nothing. Then I was like, 4 point something. And then I got my earthquake preparedness kit and everything. I was like really, really ready, but we never had one after that. But I got one today, and I'm not even in California. What do you know?